Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. I am turned up for another interview. Yay! It is that time. It is that time for another interview on Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. And today I have a wonderful special guest. Her name is Rhonda. Yes! Hi, Rhonda.
Hey.
This is Rhonda Davis, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. But first, let me just explain this platform to you. This is Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry, and that's who I am. And this platform is to give voice to the African diasporic homeschooling community to say hashtag we homeschool too. And we are doing well. Our kids are thriving, and it's just great journey for many homeschoolers all across the nation and the world who are of the African diaspora. So this platform is to give them voice so that they can share their journey, their successes, their triumphs, their challenges, to bring encouragement to you who are homeschooling, who are deciding to homeschool, who may be fearful to homeschool. Wherever you are across the board, this platform is for you, okay? All right, so my purpose-driven life is to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. And I utilize this platform to accomplish that purpose. So thank you for joining in. Be sure to share, and get the word out to bring more encouragement, more insights, and more eyes onto this aspect of homeschooling for the African diaspora community. All right, so a little bit about me. I've been homeschooling for 19 years, 8 children, 3 we graduated, 5 I'm still homeschooling. We are small farmers in the upstate of the northwestern part of South Carolina, where we make our home. In the state of South Carolina, I give families legal status to homeschool. So if you're viewing this from South Carolina and you are looking for an Option 3 accountability association, here I am. I give you legal status. I help you along the journey, help you with all those ins and outs of homeschooling. All right, other platforms, Educating Our Own Now. You can find us on Facebook. Again, that's for the African diaspora community. The Homeschool Upstart podcast. Again, that's the voice to give encouragement to those who are homeschooling. And the homeschoolupstart.com. If you go there, that is a coaching series where I give a hashtag 20 days of homeschool upstart, hashtag 20-day homeschool upstart is what it is. All right, so you can check out those resources and get connected. All right, so Rhonda, here it is. It's all about you. You ready to make this happen?
Yes.
Good. All right, she's really laid back. Yes.
Let me close that door. I have a little person that just walked in.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All right. All right. Well, let me tell you.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about Rhonda. So Rhonda, strong homeschooling mama in spite of physical pain, mental anguish, health challenges, caregiving of her mother. We have today Rhonda Ebron Davis. Rhonda and Max have been homeschooling, a homeschooling family in Durham, North Carolina since August 2001. They have 3 girls. Hannah Gabrielle, she's 23. She's at Gardner Webb University. She's an alumna, actually. In May 2018, she became an alumni. Nia, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Nia Danielle, 20. She's beginning her 3rd year at Brevard College. And Amanda Noelle, almost 10, beginning her 5th grade year. So Rhonda's personal homeschool philosophy is a mix between Charlotte Mason and classical with an infusion of cultural influences. She has worked while homeschooling in various capacities as a minister of music, piano teacher, cosmetics marketing, and social research. Her husband is a 30-year City of Durham employee and union representative. They live in an urban southern city right down the street from prominent HBCU, the illustrious NCCU. Yes. Durham is currently the 4th most well-educated city in the United States, with Duke, UNC, NC State, Wake Forest University, Bennett College, NC, A&T State University, Winston Salem State University, and many others within a 1-hour drive, and they are concentrated with education. So Rhonda is recovering from 4 years of pain from nerve damage and also a caregiver for her mother, as mentioned. She is active in church active in her neighborhood, and
Yes.
very involved with her girls. So, Rhonda, I have just told the girlfriends just a little bit about you. If there is more to share, please do. And then tell us how you actually got started on your journey to homeschooling.
Okay. The more to share is that we're so busy with homeschooling, even though we haven't actually started, that I am right now in the midst of a STEAM event at our local library.
Okay.
And it's just a lot of bustling energy around me. How I got started, I met another African-American mom also at the library. And I noticed her kids were very inquisitive. I noticed that they were picking up books on their own, and they weren't whiny, and they just looked very intentful as they were approaching the library. So I observed them a little bit longer, and then I got up the courage to ask her about their schooling. You know, like, what kind of method are you using? Is it Montessori and so she actually told me she homeschooled. I had a vague idea about homeschooling, but I mean, it was really vague. Had never met any local homeschoolers, and certainly not anyone that was Black homeschooler. This was 2001, and I just had not encountered anyone. Well, she was so kind and gracious. She and her husband invited my husband and I to dinner, shared all of their books, shared information with us, got us connected to a local group, which was a nice integrated group, very diverse. At that time, we had Blacks, whites, Asians, I mean, like several different, like Korean, Chinese.
Wow.
We had multiracial families. It was just a very nice hodgepodge group. And so I got connected. I said, I'll just try it. So we went through kindergarten. That was just a try.
Okay.
And I loved it. And every year I did the try and approach. And then after I got to like third grade, and then Nia was in kindergarten, I said, this is it. We're just going to stick with it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So when you got started, how was that first year of homeschooling? Can you describe that to us?
So the first year, well, my background is not in education, so I'll preface it like that. However, I had been a piano teacher, so I had some involvement with kids. And then, of course, I was very active with my kids by that time. That first year, I did it with a desk, chairs, structure, timers, ringing little bells. I experimented with some of those little bells that you can ring. I was rigid with the bedtime. I made all the meals and just did like a little mom thing. And then as time progressed, I realized that I could, change it up a little bit. So the first year, I'd say my kindergartner was my guinea pig. And then the other one was just 2. So she was just there for the ride.
But it went well. I mean, was it well? You're like, yes, okay, you felt confident.
It was a little scary because, you're teaching somebody how to read. You realize at that point, you don't necessarily know if you have the tools to teach reading. But I just followed this little book that the lady told me to use. So I followed that little book. And it was a very simple book. I think it was called Hearts and Home. And you just colored, you numbered your fingers, you traced different letters. And it didn't even do sight words until near the end. I think it did like apple and book, like the typical sight words like that.
Okay.
And so I did that. And before we got to the end of that, she was able to read and flow fluently with reading. But prior to that, I had already been a reading and library and book-oriented mom, listening to music. So I couldn't tell if it was from homeschool or just from the previous setup.
Gotcha. So you said your first year, it was a trial just to decide if you were. Second year, and then third year, we're like, we can do this. What?
Well, maybe by third grade was when I felt like this was the choice. So that third grade year was a little pivotal. I went back to try to finish my degree.
Okay.
And I tried to work a little bit. So I was in with a lady that had an African-centered school. And that lady had a nice one-room school setup. But after that, I realized I enjoyed working one-on-one with my children and then choosing sort of like the activities. So that was my pivotal year where I said, yes, homeschool. No, it's not private. No, it's not hybrid. No, it's not charter.
Gotcha. It was just your confidence was built and you said, hey, I can do this and I can do this with one-on-one and do it successful. Was that pretty much the ding? I mean, what was it?
Kind of a ding, but at the same time, I did have a little family blowback around that time. So K1, even 2 was okay. But when I started approaching 3rd, 4th, 5th, that's when the comments were like, do you think she could do better in school? My older girl, Hannah. Well, you've done a great job, but now maybe it's time to send her to school. I had a few family members that actually wanted to see the curriculum. I had a few family members that actually wanted to come and sit in on a day and see what a typical day was like. I also got some good support from my grandmother, my mother, my aunt. They actually were able to go with me on field trips, go with me on the outings. And so they really connected with the kids. But again, we're coming from a family-oriented family. So
yeah, some
of that was normal. And then some of it was like, okay, she's a little weird, but we're going to work with her.
Okay, got you. Well, beautiful. And I commend you for, in spite of not having that support, community support from your own family, that you still persevered and went forward. So
I did.
Something,
some challenging moments, some awkward moments. To be honest, some heated conversations have occurred. I would say even people for a moment maybe distancing themselves. And that's just to say, okay, she's going totally left and we're not going to be a part of that. But they quickly came back around.
Okay, beautiful. I mean, that's a beautiful success story because, as you know, that doesn't happen often, everybody. And I'm sure some of you who are viewing even have spouses who are not on board. I've talked to many of you who have said that spouses were not on board. And so you felt like you were all alone by yourself. And can you speak real quickly to, or maybe we'll save that. I'll save that conversation for a podcast because I would love for you to speak more to that. So we'll hold on.
That's a great topic to just look at what it looks like in a marriage to decide homeschooling.
Well, no, I want to dive in deeper in a podcast. So I tell y'all what I'm going to ask her is, what is the encouragement when you don't have that support to stay focused and to keep going? What
that's a good topic too.
Yeah, what did you do to get yourself together and stay focused? Even, I don't know if your husband was on board or not, but that's what I would want to dive into because I can't tell you how many. Matter of fact, just this past week, I had a conversation, or someone replied on my YouTube channel. They said, my husband's not on board. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this much longer.
Wow.
And so that's a hard situation to be in. So I would love to just dive in deeper on that conversation. So
okay, that'll be great. And I asked my husband, why did he let me do it this long just today? He said, you were doing a good job with it. It worked. The kids got one-on-one from you. They got customized education. So he has been my biggest cheerleader with it, even though he knew it was a little different.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, tell us, you sound like you got off to a great start. 2 of your girls are in college, and I want you to just share with us that journey now that you have 2 in college, very successful. One graduated from college, one in college, and one at 10th grade, 10 years old. Tell us, what is that feeling like going through that, and all that responsibility is on you? What encouragement can you give to these families who are at the beginning and like, I don't know if I can do this?
Well, see, now there's so many choices. At the time that Hannah was getting ready to go to college or just getting into high school age, dual enrollment didn't look like dual enrollment looks now. It wasn't a regular participation thing from homeschool in terms of transitioning.
Yeah.
So we did go to one dual enrollment opportunity meeting at our local community college. And when we went, the representation was all white, male, engineering, mathematic oriented young men. So we felt like that was too much testosterone to just switch our daughter over. We looked at maybe we should do some of the challenges with CC, classical conversations, and that wasn't quite her field either. So that let me know I'm gonna just have to ride all the way through high school. So through the high school, what it looked like was really looking at the requirements for the UNC system, University of North Carolina, because I'm in North Carolina, and then looking at some of our local high school courses and requirements. And then I just kind of mixed that in a little bit with what I was already doing. I did not get any mixed comments then. By then, everybody knew, you know, I was totally into homeschooling and they were impressed. I was impressed, but I was afraid. I had some fear. Some of the fears were, can we afford college? We've been on one income. Will my daughters be able to adjust well? They seemed well adjusted, but you don't really know until they're away from you.
Right.
Is she fully prepared? So how I encouraged myself was just giving my best effort, a little bit more planning. I did talk with a few people, but most of the recommendations we had were pursue community college. You know, your daughters haven't really been around a lot of kids. You know, I'm doing like this. This is people that's their impression of homeschooling.
Right.
Or how do you know she can adjust in that type of environment? So we went right ahead, and how I prepared Hannah. I said, you're gonna knock the SAT out. So she did SAT and ACT a couple of years in a row, PSAT, just so she built her test taking skills, and they were above average scores. And then her transcript was really good. I didn't put that together until right before she started applying, but I had all my records and everything, so that was very easy. And then the hardest part, I think, was not the transition to college, but just knowing which schools to apply to, navigating the scholarship process. So I think the high school graduation part was okay. It was the after that part. Can she succeed? Can she fly?
And it's so funny because I have one who went on to college. 3 of them have graduated. One became an entrepreneur. One went off to the military, and the third one went off to college at 16. So, you know, I'm sure you can agree with me that up until that point, you're like, okay, can we do it? Will she get into college? Can she, is she even college material?
Yes.
On this information that you have put into or provided for her academics. And I remember that fear being so real when my kids were in elementary school. And I'm sure many of you can, you know, attest to this and say, yep, I'm there. And then when you do it, it's like, whoa, oh, that's it. And
yes, so elementary was okay, middle school was okay. It's that 11th, about that 10th, 11th grade year that you're like, okay, this is really happening. Yeah. Can they do it? Will they make it? Will they shine? And then they go off to college and blow it out the water. My daughter has been on out the water.
She has been on Dean's list and President's list every single semester.
Yes.
This is her starting at 16. And so your girl too, the same thing. I think, did you tell me one of them, she's going on to her master's degree or something like that?
No, Hannah, so she made the Dean's list 3 times. I think she made the President's list a few times. She graduated with honors in her major, and then she opted for entrepreneurship.
Yes, that's what she
even though she is working about 38 hours a week, she does not want to commit to a regular full-time traditional job. So her job is her business.
Yeah.
And I mean, she has a job, but then her business is what she's building. And
Gotcha.
so she is actually doing photography and graphic design, can do your business cards, can do your public relations, like your media, press packages, things like that.
Yeah.
So she just officially launched it maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
And she's really, I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
She said, no, you're not. I know you guys just want me to get a real job. But by this time, again, just being homeschooled and doing things differently, you feel a little bit more comfortable and know that there are different options available.
Absolutely. I love it. So you all be encouraged. Those of you who are at the beginning of the journey, your kids will blow it out the water, because you don't even realize the wide scope of education they're getting. And it's just not academia. It's so much, making them a well-rounded kid that when they do step off into the college world, they're like, I got this. I promise you. Promise you, promise you, promise you. Well, Rhonda, take us, if you can, in the recesses of your mind.
Okay. It's been so long.
I know, right? Your worst day of homeschooling. It was so bad that you considered quitting, like, this is not for me. I'm done. I'm over it. Take us to that day.
Okay, that wasn't hard. I have several of those days.
Okay.
My second child, Nia, and she'll probably kill me for saying this, but my second child, Nia, used to have tantrums. And she had some, I wouldn't even call it learning difficulties. I say learning challenges. And we later found out it was ADD. Okay. But if you don't have any special education background, you don't have any teacher training, and then your oldest child, so they're about 2 years and 10 months apart. So Hannah was the first child, like Little Miss Perfect. So I could tell Hannah anything, she would do it. And any homework I assigned to her, she would turn it in. She just was very eager. And then I got with Nia, and Nia would look at me every day like, why are we here? I just want to know, why are we here? So later on, Nia told me when I was talking to her, it was like, wah, 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 wah.
Mm-hmm.
So that used to, I mean, I don't drink, but that was I could have drank. It was just, I would call my husband on his job. He has a physical outdoor job. I would call to the emergency desk and get them to page him. I said, Max, you have to come home. I can't do it. He said, I thought it was a real emergency. I said, it is. I'm going to kill somebody. I would cry. I told him I was going to take him down to the local school. We couldn't go any further. But my saving grace was friends. So I'm friendly, I'm outgoing, I'm humorous. So I actually was blessed with friends that are special educators and really well seasoned. And so they gave me some tips. And then one of them pointed me in the direction of where I should be looking for answers. The pediatricians were not helpful at all because, again, mainstream society at that time said public school, socialization. Yeah. So then tantrums are because you're not around other kids or you're used to having your way. And then from the Black community standpoint, maybe you're not spanking, maybe you're not disciplining. Yeah. Maybe your child is spoiled. Maybe you all are in the house laying around all day. But in our case, we were gone every day. So maybe you're gone too much. Maybe her schedule is not right. Maybe you have them in too many activities. So you can always look at those types of things. But that was my worst. Those were some of my pivotal moments where maybe I need to maybe I'm in over my head. Maybe I don't have the skill set for this. But we had a great breakthrough. She was able to mature. She was able to get a little bit older. And then I was able to find out things that she liked. So she loved art. She loved drawing. And my husband's mother is an artist, so she would spend time with her and they would draw together. So that was helpful. And then she loved to sing. We're a musical family. So the singing kind of helped a little bit. And then probably not until 10th grade did she get out of that kind of withdrawn type of shyness. And now again, back to what you said, she's just blown it out in the water.
Yeah, because she's in college. That's amazing. And you know, one thing I would love to hear, and any of your viewers who are watching this, if you know anyone who's out of the African diaspora community who can give voice to special needs and support families who are homeschooling and special needs, because you're right, when we're not in an atmosphere of many children, and you know, you're not able to compare your child to another child and say, oh, this behavior is not becoming of other third graders or something like that, then you just don't know if there's a special needs situation. And I personally am not one to give children labels. I don't like to give them labels.
I don't like them either.
You have ADHD because you blah, blah, blah. I don't like to do that. But on the flip side, I have learned personally, because I was in the same situation you are, Rhonda. My first child, she was ready to learn. What else can you teach me, Mama? Just everything. And she was a girl. And my second one, my son, a little different, always had to fight with him to get his schoolwork done. Not fight, but you know, he was dragging his feet, and I'm like, come on, buddy, let's get this done. Come on, I need you to focus all the time. And we didn't find out until 3 months ago, I believe, 3 or 4 months ago, that he is on the autism spectrum. And I had no clue. You
won't have a clue because you're so close to your child. You're more than their teacher. You're actually their parent.
Right.
You're there for them every day. So the closeness there can sometimes mask. And then emotionally, you're also attached to it because did I do this to this child, right?
Right. Or, you know, even more than that, it was that I adapted to how he was. I was like, okay, this is how he learned. This is how he acts. This is how he does. And so then I just adapted, and it's like, okay, that's just him being him. I didn't know. And then I thought because my oldest was a girl and the next one was a boy, the next two were girls, I thought it was just a boy being different from girls. I just didn't have any knowledge. And he went through his whole school year. I mean, his schooling, graduated out of homeschool. He's brilliant, academically smart. Nothing, but he was high functioning autistic. Okay, so that's what we just found out. And so I really think that we do need to be educated for cues and just things like that. That's like, that's signs.
And I just had no idea. It was I didn't have any prior experience with it.
Right.
I had only taught one little boy that had high functioning autism with piano, but the mom came and made all the accommodations at my house when I taught.
Exactly.
So to what you said, I do want to note that one of the pluses with homeschool, we were able to adapt. We were able to understand both Hannah and Nia's personalities. Hannah is really similar to me, energetic, bubbly. She likes to have her hands in like 50 pots at one time.
Right.
That's me. And then Nia was much more quiet, focused, I'd say artsy, creative writing, and she loved animals. And so being able to adapt was one of the benefits to homeschooling. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, even with her college, she's at one that is known for experiential learning. So that's why she's blowing it up.
Gotcha. Beautiful. And that's a good point too. While on one hand, we don't know all the ins and outs and the points that we should know when it comes to all the special needs and the range of different special needs that are out there. But on the other side of that coin, because we homeschool them and we know them intimately and just know their quirks and this and that and the other, we are able to really hone in on their differences and create the atmosphere they need for learning and adapt to them in that. So both sides are great. So, both sides are evident, but definitely the side where we're able to do the other side of the coin, accommodate to them, go with how they learn, understand them more, still give them that one-on-one attention based on how they are, even if we don't.
And accept them as an individual. I think we tend to put people in molds.
Yes.
And so homeschooling is already unique, but then each child turned out to be completely their own person. Yeah. And so that's one thing that I sent them to college with. You are who you are. No one else is any better or any more deserving than you are. And so whichever way that you function best, it's up to you to make sure that those needs are met. So if you can't function well without eating breakfast, you need to make sure you have breakfast. If you are afraid that you're going to be late and then that causes you anxiety, you need to get your clothes and your hair, as girls, done the night before, because we all got this natural hair.
Right. I love it.
You can't just throw that together, right?
Honey, you got to put some work behind that stuff. Everybody, we got to put some work behind that.
That speaks to also life skills. So knowing yourself as an individual, but also having basic life skills. Mm-hmm. And so all of that is acquired in a homeschool environment. But I also think, if parenting is occurring, that can be acquired in, any of the academic settings, but you have more time to work on your individual self in a homeschool setting.
Absolutely. You all, that was nuggets right there. Rhonda just dropped some nuggets. That was a great conversation. We didn't even know it would curve that way in regards to special needs. So if you all have more comments, be sure to tag and contact Rhonda or myself. I have a journey, a story to tell, even in mine. Homeschooling a child with high functioning autism. Didn't even have a clue. I didn't have any lower expectations. I had expectations here, and he met them, graduated and completed. And your daughter has gone off to college, and and she's thriving well. So,
but I did have a high expectation for her because she was compared to Hannah so often. Mm-hmm. And so my expectation of her was to be the best person and make some of the best decisions for your future that you can make.
Beautiful.
And that was the expectation. And no matter what you do, it needs to, you need to give 100% to it.
Absolutely. Beautiful. And I'll say one more thing before that. And the reason why I feel to say this is because I got a feeling many families will be looking at this who have children with special needs. And the other thing with my son, he was a preemie. He was a 28-week preemie, 2 pounds, 4 ounces, and went down to 115. So he was already delayed in so many things. And you would think he was delayed, everything. In reading, he didn't start reading until he was 10. He didn't go potty train well until he was 3 or a little older than that. So everything was delayed. And when it came to academics, I didn't expect him to be delayed. He wasn't delayed. He learned all the things he needed to learn, kindergarten stuff, at 4 years old. So he wasn't delayed academically.
Right.
In other ways. So if you all have questions, be sure to comment and reach out to Rhonda or myself, or comment on this video, and we'd be happy to share our journey with you. Okay. So Rhonda.
And I did have a late preterm, so like 37 weeks, but she turned out to meet all of her markers.
Beautiful. So Rhonda, tell us, take us to your proudest moment of homeschooling. That is your proudest moment. And when you think about it, you just say, this right here is why I homeschooled. This reason right here.
Okay, so I have 3 of those.
Okay.
Maybe more than 3, but the 3 obvious ones. The first one was Hannah's high school graduation, because we were members of North Carolinians for home education, and they do a big shindig type of graduation with 100 students on each side. So they run 2 graduations at the same time.
Wow.
And you don't have to have tickets, but you just have to show up at the right hall, because they do duplicate graduations with speakers. So that's your time to bring people from the family and, have just a really formal graduation experience. So that was one. The same thing for Nia's graduation. And then when she graduated, Hannah had already graduated. Hannah helped so much with technology and had it live on Facebook. Her other homeschool friends were there holding posters and woo and all of that. So those 2 moments. The other milestone, I guess, would be Hannah's graduation from college.
Wow.
She went through college, had never lived away from home, lived 3 hours away, graduated in 4 straight years, no summer school.
Wow. Beautiful.
And that whole 4 years went by just like that. So that had to be probably our proudest moment so far. And also just the reason that was so significant, they went to private schools. That particular year, they overlapped senior and freshman year.
Okay.
So the bills that we received for that school year were $86,000. We are a one-income, lower middle family, no public assistance, no outside assistance, one person supporting 5 people and a dog.
Wow.
Now we have 2 dogs. So I'm sure that ranks really highly with my husband because he was a big part of making that happen. He consistently holds his family down.
Beautiful.
So, I mean, just to make it through that year, they got lots of scholarships. They did have to get some student loans. They got some financial aid that fluctuates, you know. But to just make it through that year with a freshman and a senior, and they were so far away and moving so much stuff, we had to coordinate with other people to help us. So that senior year, we literally dropped Hannah off on a Monday. It was our big rental vehicle filled to the brim and a friend's car filled to the brim. Then that Friday, we dropped Nia for freshman year 4.5 hours away with 2 other cars filled to the brim.
Wow. Wow.
And that was in 1 week. So all of those are some of our proudest moments. Some other proud moments. So far, little Amanda has been shining, been holding herself down as the only remaining student at Ebron Davis Christian Academy. And she lets us know she's here. So many proud moments with her. She's an excellent speaker and she's almost 10. She has a sweet little mischievous side. So even while we've been doing this interview, she's already been in here and crawled on the floor and crawled over to my bag to retract the iPod and then crawled out.
At least you did it quietly, girl. Way to go, way to go. Well, congratulations to you. Well, congratulations. Those are beautiful moments. And you can attest it to, hey, our journey was in homeschool. So wonderful. Kudos to you. Kudos to your king, your dear husband for holding it down and staying in there and making it happen for you all. So, all right, we're about to transition to the second half of our show. So girlfriends, right now, if you all would just hit the share button, go ahead and share this onto your different social media platforms, email it out to friends, get it out, and so that they can be encouraged. Someone that you know that this story will resonate with, get it out to them, okay? Or someone who you just know is considering homeschooling and they need to be homeschooling and get rid of the fear and the anxiousness and just do it. All right, so share this out to them, okay? All right, so Rhonda, this is the second part of the show where we ask you questions where you can give me a short answer, just short, specific answers to these questions, okay? All right, so what is your favorite quote that has helped you through your homeschooling journey?
Go confidently in the direction of your dream. Live the life you have imagined, and that's Henry David Thoreau.
Love it. Do you plan to homeschool your last one all the way through to the end?
I will. I do.
What is something unique to your homeschooling that is, that's unique to the Davis family that maybe other families don't do that you like to let us know about?
We do a plethora of free events.
Like, what is that? What do you mean? Like
Today, Amanda just participated in a STEM 5-hour program. And it was completely free. And I was able to let other moms know, and they brought their kids as well.
Beautiful. What are some resources or curriculum that you feel that every homeschooling family of the African diaspora community should have in their library?
Every family should have From Slavery to Freedom by Dr. John Hope Franklin.
Beautiful. What is the best piece of advice you have received on this homeschooling journey that has kept you on track homeschooling that you'd like to share with the listeners?
The best piece of advice I've ever gotten is don't worry about it. Start again tomorrow.
Yes. So true. So true. So true.
Yes.
All right. Well, here's the last question, the $1 million question. Are you ready, Rhonda?
Okay.
All right. So if you had to start all over again from the beginning of your homeschooling journey, back all the way back to day one, but you have your current wisdom, knowledge, skills, and experiences, what would you do differently? What would be the main thing and focus that you would change and do differently this new time around?
The only thing I would do different is be a little bit stronger on bedtimes. And that's because my family's involved in so many different activities, so many different things, and we're always going. So we get up and then we go to the end of the day, like the Energizer Bunny. So I would change that. I would be intentful about rest time, Scole, I think it's called, from a classical perspective, or, just that quiet few hours.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So do you have any last words of advice you want to get to the girlfriends? And also let us know how we can contact you if girlfriends have questions that they want to ask you.
Okay, they can just message me on Facebook. I guess we didn't get to touch on depression or pain or illness or some of that stuff, so maybe we'll have to revisit that. But I just want to encourage any moms that if they're going through some situations where they need therapy, they need someone else to talk to, by all means, reach out. There's help available, and you'll make it through your situation. I myself just recovered from, I'm still recovering as we speak, from about 4 years of nerve damage. I have a little bit more answers now, and I've slowly been regaining my ability to drive, my ability to play the piano again, and I have not yet been able to return to work because of this extended illness. But just be encouraged, even in scenarios like this, you can still homeschool successfully. You just adapt your own environment to what's going on. Right. So I make sure I can eat well, I make sure I can rest well, and I make sure that I have help inside my home where I can get it. Of course, the big girls are gone a lot, just to, make sure that I have some coverage to be able to take care of myself.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that advice, because it can be done. And even in the midst of, like, your situation, over 4 years or so, 5 years of, health issues and challenges, you still did it. And your girl,
I'm still doing it.
And you're still doing it. And
still
your girls
still doing it, still dropping people off, dropped somebody off last week.
Yeah. So you all be encouraged, those of you who are in medical or health related challenges, you still can homeschool. Just make it look like, just take the advice of what Rhonda said. She said it beautifully. Make it look like what you need it to look like for you all to make it happen. All right. So very good. Very good. All right. Well, very good. Thank you, Rhonda. How can girlfriends get in contact with you?
They can message me on Facebook, Rhonda Ebron Davis. That's Rhonda, and then E, B as in boy, R-O-N as in Nancy, Davis. And I will take any comments. I love to help new moms. I helped new homeschooling moms. I helped some people yesterday that they're about to homeschool a little niece. And then I helped a lady who's transitioning to another state with her homeschool just today before our interview. And then I'm having a small co-op with another mom this year who's in her second year of homeschooling. And we can't wait to work together with our girls because they click real well and they're in the same age. So it's about community.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, wow, there you go. Sound like Rhonda got a little coaching opportunity that could be birthed right from her experience. So Rhonda, think about that. All right, girlfriends. What'd you say?
I said, I am thinking about it.
Very good. Very good. But girlfriends, listen, you are the average sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And today you have been spending this hour with Rhonda Davis out of Durham, North Carolina. So you all keep making positive, keep up the momentum, continue to connect with other positive influences who will aid to your homeschooling journey, encourage you on your homeschooling journey, and then you too be that positive influence for someone else who needs to have that encouragement and that connection in that community. Okay, so make it happen. Well, Rhonda, Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling, I'm so thankful to you and appreciate you for giving of your time, your wisdom, your insights, and coming on this show, making this happen today. And so thank you so much. All the best to you. All the best to you. And girlfriends, as always, thank you so much for joining in. And I pray, it's my hope and my desire that this has been very informative, encouraging to you for your journey, and that you have walked away with nuggets, because Rhonda was certainly dropping some nugget bombs here. So walked away with some nuggets for yourself or to hold on for someone else who may need them, okay? So just remember that to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, we shape the future through our efforts of homeschooling. So keep making a positive impact day after day, year after year. Make it happen, all right? All right, take care, and until next time, catch the podcast with Rhonda that will be coming up in the coming weeks. We got a great conversation to dive into on Girlfriends Chat, which is on all your podcast platforms, okay? Until then, peace.